The science of agriculture, the land, the seeds, and the man.
Agricultural survival.
They have represented me with the worst image. But I know without a doubt that it's because of your lack of knowledge. Foresight, they don't have to see distance. That's why they're living in ignorance. I Selassie, I say, any country that use.
Hi, I'm your host tonight on What Matters at the Roundtable. Stanley West McPherson, August the 14th, 2018. We're on Pegasus. We're live in the studio, Channel 13. Spectrum TV Cable Network. We're live, yes, and you can have all our broadcasts. We'll start you off at 7:30 Sunday a.m. Then we're live, that's tonight, and then also Wednesday night, Wednesday at 1:30 p.m., and Thursday morning at 7:30 a.m. Then we come back Friday at 7:30 p.m. and Saturday at 1:30 p.m. So you can have the broadcast all week. And it's around, we're working around your work schedule so you can catch it. And guess what? If you miss or if you don't have cable, if you don't have Spectrum or Pegasus, Channel 13, we can send you a direct link. Or we're on YouTube. Yes, I have a channel on YouTube and Google and Facebook. Okay, so we're on all the networks. All right, social media, we're on it. And don't forget, you can watch any show and we'll send you a direct link and then you can get all of the shows, whichever you want to go back and check out and see what we said was sold. Right now we want to give a warm heart, felt to Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin, and she's greatly ill. We wish her well. We want her to get better. We know that there's no other Queen of Soul. So we want Aretha Franklin to get better. Our prayers and all our positive mind frame goes out to her. We just want to let you know that she's greatly ill. And when I saw it on my phone, I said I'm going to give her a shout out tonight to let her know that we're thinking about her and we want her to get well. Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin. Also, we want to give out our shout outs here with some birthdays over the weekend, especially mine. Some people that I know, they had birthdays. We wish them well. Mrs. VVS, and then we had Batty K, Bronx, New York, and so many other women that had birthdays in August, Leos. Also, Kendra, she's got one coming up. My sister, Sophie, got one coming up. Vivian had a birthday the day before mine, so we want to wish her well, a happy one, and many, many more. It's my sister. And my other sister is one coming up. And so many more people have birthdays coming up. So we want to wish you a merry and a happy, and like Spot says, live long, prosper. That's what we talking about. Also, my grandbaby, Sunshine, Storm, Sunshine from Baltimore, Maryland, Rosedar S, and Pimplia in Australia, also Lisa Area, and she's in Florida. So many women we want to give shout outs to that they are doing their job, making sure that they take care of their families. So we can't ask for no more. We are here to help you get out of poverty. So that's what we do here. So we want to make sure that people do them, do you. Also in the studio, live, co-host, Milton, Webb. Milton, how you doing?
How you doing, Stan? What's up,
All right,
man?
good.
All right.
Good. We came in encounter with people
Right.
that, some people, they going through problems. Some people going through this. Some people going through accidents. Some people this and that, But my thing is that, all we could do is say, hey, listen, you got to be want to live. You got to want to live. You got to want to protect yourself because there's so many things going on, car accidents, all kind of stuff, people driving, texting, all kind of stupid stuff, and then you driving behind them, and that's an accident, a four or five car accident. People is crazy.
Well, Stanley, some people disregard things that could happen.
Yeah.
And they don't pay attention to what could happen. So they don't really care. All they want to do is get that text out or whatever it is that they're doing on their phone while they're driving. It's hard enough to watch other people drive other than to take your eyes off the road while you're driving.
Exactly.
So, because everybody's not aware. We'll say it like that. Everybody's not aware that you're texting or the next person is texting or, something like that is going on. So when it comes right down to it, they're hazardous on the road. They're hazard on the road. And that puts a lot of people in jeopardy. So you got to watch out for them. You got to watch out. And when people say, I only took my eyes off the road for a second, that's all it takes is a second.
That's it.
That's it. So you got to pay attention to what's going on out there. It ain't necessarily, the person next to you.
Right.
It could be the person behind you or the person, in front of you or something like that there. But, there's a lot of people out there texting, and there's a lot of accidents behind texting on the phone. Just don't do it.
And you know what? My thing is that they got cars now made for all of that stuff. You understand?
You can speak your text.
That's right. You can say it. You don't even have to go nowhere. And it can talk back to you.
Yeah.
They got it in the car now.
Yes, they do.
Okay? The car will talk the text, and then you can speak it, and then it goes right back. That's it. You ain't got to do nothing. You ain't got to go no phone. You ain't got to do nothing. So they made that available at your fingertips because it's right here at the steering wheel.
You see, but a lot of people that those cars are made for at the steering wheel, a lot of people don't have those cars. So in a lot of places and a lot of things, people are being, how could we say, foolish.
Yeah.
Because they're not being road suave. They're not paying attention to the person that's next to them. They're too busy trying to text their friend, not knowing that they're going over the line.
Yeah.
Or something, or about to create a problem on the road. And then that puts everybody in a problem because now traffic stops. Okay? Somebody wind up being hurt, and you get that same thing. Just like I said, I just took my eyes off the road for a second. Like the one guy said, I never stopped watching the road. Well, if you didn't stop watching the road, how did you have the accident?
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
So you got to be careful with things that you do while you're driving. Believe one thing. You don't know nothing about being dead because you ain't never been there.
Thank you.
So, live your life abundantly. I mean, we have a lot of people that's life became short for one reason or another.
Yeah.
good people, good people. So let's try to keep it right, because that car you driving, that's a lethal weapon.
That's right.
And you know, once you roll it over, you do something. Remember one thing: there's no coming back from being dead.
Nope. And my thing is that, you know, a lot of people, they took the road test. Some of them, they slept through the 6-hour class. Means that you have to watch the video and you have to watch everything, and sometimes it's 8 hours. And you have to watch everything, all of the video, and see, I watched all of that. Because, you know why? Because all of that was showing how accidents happen, what people do. And you know what? It's out here in the road. Everything on those videos is in the street. Everything. And people, the ones that's having accidents, some of them didn't watch it. They didn't watch that because that's exactly what happened.
But you see, you know, and in a lot of times, in a lot of cases, you know, it's not that they didn't watch it. It's just that they're so busy trying to get with their friends or that next person. You got to understand one thing. If that's the case, you want to text, pull to the side of the road. Text then. You know, get your text out the way, then go ahead and drive. If you don't want to do that, then wait till where you going and do what you got to do.
Right.
Because there's nothing that important to where you got to text the way you driving. If it's that important, pull to the side of the road. Do what you got to do. But don't do it while you're driving. That's not the way to go. It's not the way to go.
No, especially if you're doing 55. See what I mean? And all you have is to watch all 3 mirrors, okay?
That's it.
And when you watch all 3 mirrors and you're driving fast, you're making sure that they in their lane and who's behind you and who's in front of you, and oh, they ain't eased their brake on or they didn't slam their brake, and then you got to watch cars ahead of them and see, is the traffic all right? Is it moving smoothly down there? Or, you know, or in the back of you. So you have to be sharp driving. You can't be intoxicated. You can't be impaired. You can't, because one split of a second, you need to be focused, you know? And you can't be behind the wheel if you're not focused. You know, I heard on the radio, impaired driver, he hit everything. This man hit everything, and you know, I'm surprised he ain't dead, because he hit everything and he was speeding. Everything down the pole, cars, everything. He was just hitting stuff there. I'm like, come on, what's going on? You know, people getting hit on the road, okay? It's crazy. You getting behind the wheel, you know, and you think you know what you're doing. No, not when you impaired. You know, not when you you sleepy or you drunk. You know, all these drunk drivers. You had a party. Give somebody else the keys.
Catch a cab.
Catch a cab. That's somebody else driving. You know, that's not drinking, because it ain't worth it. Be dead on the road. You know, that's not worth it at all. You know, because that shows that you ain't learned nothing in the life you had. Your life was cut short by you driving and drinking.
And it's not necessarily, you'll be the person to hit somebody and kill somebody.
Mm-hmm.
What if it's a little kid? What if it's a child in the car? Okay, you got to look at all that.
Yeah.
You got to look at all that, because when you sit there and look at it, you know, I wouldn't want that to be me, because that's a burden you don't want to carry. You know, and everybody says, oh, that'll never happen. Never say it'll never happen, because it does happen often, quite frequently, because people don't pay attention, because they're either drunk driving, thinking they're cool, or they're texting. You know, and when you're driving, keep your eyes on the road. Don't turn around talking to your buddy in the back seat. He's not liable, you are. So, you know, let's get it together.
I want to give you a little scenario when I had a permit And my brother bought a car. He couldn't drive it because he didn't have nothing. Okay, my youngest brother. So I could drive. And we was doing like 5 or 6, not even 10. And kids, they was playing at a pump. And they was spraying water, and the kid ran out, right out in front of the car. And I'm only doing 5, 10. And the kid ran right in front of the car. You know what I did? I hit because I turned and swerved from the kid and hit a pole. Because you know why? Because the pole don't have to live, but the kid do. You see? And so by me using what I had, I said, I'd rather wreck his car in a pole than wreck his car hitting the kid. And the kid ran right in front of the car. And we only doing 5. We going up the hill. 5, 10. It wasn't fast at all. But you can see that I experienced who and what, you understand, entails of life. And the pole wasn't, but the child was. So, and you know what? I wasn't even impaired. So I was thinking, I said, I'd rather hit the pole than to hit a child, because that's your conscience, and you got to live with that all the rest of your life.
Oh, yeah.
You see? Even though the child ran out there in front of the car. So you have to be sharp, because that happens. Children will run out. You know why? Because they yank from their parents, and they run out in the street, and you driving, and you got to know what to do, because sometimes it ain't your fault. But if you impaired, you messed up. But if you're not impaired, you think, and you know what to do quickly sometimes. It ain't but sometimes a split second. That's all you have. You have to be sharp. You have to think. You have to use your brain. But if you're impaired, you drunk, what you gonna do? You're gonna hit the child. See? Because you're intoxicated. And that's, you know, and basically that be the most thing that happened, because so many people got hit. Oh, he was intoxicated. Oh, he hit somebody. He hit and ran. He kept on going. See?
That's right.
You know, and this is what people not realizing. You need to stay sharp when you're behind the wheel, okay? I don't care what wheel, truck, bus, car, whatever. You need to stay sharp, you know? And I'm telling you, don't drink and don't drive, because that right there is a no-no. That kills everybody. So, you know, and in Texas, that's number 2 on the list, you know. Mm-hmm. I like to get away from, when I'm driving, I get away from people that's texting. Get away from them, because I see them, and I get away from them because I know that they're going to cause an accident soon, and I don't want to be in their accident. You see what I mean? So that's why I said, you watch the other driver. You watch them, because when you see them, you get away from them, okay? Because I know I save people's lives driving. I had a drunk man one time. He's in my lane, and I kept him in his lane, saved his life. He was drunk, and I had my baby, my daughter, in the car, and baby mother, okay? And I'm sober. I kept this man in his lane, okay? And we was on the Major Deacon. I kept him in his lane in the Bronx, okay, until it was time for me to get away. I mean, yeah, I was doing a little more than the speed limit, okay? We doing some numbers here. But I kept him in his lane, then I got up out of there, and I said, you know what? Now it's your responsibility. I'm on my own. I'm gone, okay? But he's drunk, and I'm sober. So I'm keeping people alive, because I don't play that drunk driving nonsense. I don't play that. I don't like that, you know? There's no way on the road for that. You don't need to be on the road for that, you know? No, you hurt too many people. You got people having parties, and they drinking, everybody drinking, and they want to take some keys and get behind the wheel. Oh, give me the keys, Sam. Paul, give me the, knowing he can't drive. But the other guy is saying, Paul or Sam is saying, no, they should be saying, no, you're not getting these keys. We'll take you home, or get on the couch and get sober. But you're not getting these keys, okay? And we're going to fight because you ain't getting these keys, buddy. Stuff like that. You know, lump him up, and when he wake up, he'll see that, you know, hey, he's still alive, you know, because he could be driving and be dead. You don't see him no more. So that's what a friend is, okay? A friend is going to see you alive, not dead. So that's what I got to say on that, okay? Now, you do you. Just make sure when you drive, you know, if you want to be reckless, don't be reckless near me because I'm going to see you, you know, because I watch everything on the road. I'll see you, and I'll make sure I get away from you because it says watch the other driver, and that's what we do. So we ain't playing that, you know. And we got people that they had a good time. Listen, I could have a good time and drink a 7-Up. I could drink a Pepsi. I could drink a ginger ale and have a great time. You know, and matter of fact, I have better time than you had, okay? But I ain't got a drink. See what I'm saying? I could drink a 7-Up, a Pepsi, a ginger ale, and had a great time. Had a ball.
Like my boy said, I don't have to drink alcohol to have a good time.
That's right.
I can have a good time any place, anytime, anywhere, and it don't have to revolve around alcohol or anything else. So you need to be careful of what you do. And I mean, I'm not knocking for the people that's doing that. You know, think that's your good time, then that's your good time. But for people like Stanley and I, we don't indulge in that.
And don't bring it to us.
And don't bring it to us.
That's what I'm saying, because we're going to see you.
You know, and you know, we're going to tell you to go sleep it off or something.
Thank you.
But if that's you, be responsible for the way you do what you do, all right? Don't get behind the wheel and start driving. Don't, you know, whatever, man. Call a cab, walk home, do whatever. Drink some coffee. It's worth it.
Yeah, because there's too many people getting killed, you know, by drunk driving, taxing, all of this crazy stuff. Every time on the news, on the radio, somebody got killed. Somebody got hit and run. A man got hit 12:30 in the morning. He was coming from a party. Somebody on the road hit him. Boom. Killed him.
Killed him.
Killed him. See what I'm saying? Come on.
Young boy, young man.
Yeah.
Young man, 18 years old.
18, yeah. Come on.
Yes.
That's crazy.
I mean, you got to be responsible for the things you do, all right?
That's crazy.
And a lot of y'all ain't responsible.
Right.
So therefore, get responsible. Because that could be you.
Right. And you mothers, please. I see children. Man, we was in the parking lot. Look, let me tell them that story.
Go ahead and tell them.
We was in the parking lot and locked. And something tells me, says, go backwards. And then I said, no, because that truck is blocking me because I can't see if a child run out. And then I put it in drive, and we just watching and we looking, and the lady lets her kid, she brings the child out the car, and when the child gets out of the car, he yanks from her and runs into the, I said, and I was going to go
that
way in the front, and the kid ran right out there and almost ran into the street out there. Glad there was no cars out there that was coming on the roadway. I said, man, look at this, man. These people is crazy, man. They could control their own children. And that baby was no more than about 3, 4.
Something like that.
Something like that. You yank the child. We watched the child yank from his mother and ran right in the street. I'm saying, what is going on?
She was trying to catch him.
Right, trying, but
she was trying to catch
she
him.
would have got, the baby would have got hit already.
She'd have got hit too.
And she would have got hit too, exactly. Trying to run to catch the baby. I'm like, women, please, you know, don't be scared of your children. Hold your children.
Get a tighter grip.
Okay? Because I'd rather hold my child that tight than to let my child be dead over there and worrying about somebody else, or BCW worrying about how tight I hold my kid's hand to go across the street. Nuh-uh. Or tap my gut, spank them, say, no, you ain't going nowhere. I'm the boss. You wait for me. It's better to be alive than to be dead, okay? So you parents, you know, please, because I'm watching you. I see you. I see what you're doing. I see how kids running, acting a fool, running across the street. And they running in cars is coming. And don't forget, if the guy is impaired, he's drunk, he's gonna hit your child. Because he's not gonna think sharp. Okay? So I'm telling you, listen, forget about what other people say. You parent the way you know how to parent. That's the way. That means if you want to keep your children alive, then you need to be the parent, not the child is the parent. You need to be the parent. So that means whatever it takes for you to be a parent, you know what to do. Okay? If it takes you to spank the child, then do it. If it takes for you to put a grip on the child, then do it. Hold a child's hand and not let her hold your hand, then do it. Because that's what it needs to take for the child to stay alive, then you need to do it. Okay? So that's our time for this. Okay? So we're letting you know that we care for people. All right? And our job is to get you out of poverty, but also make sure that you can live to spend and your children live to spend the money. Okay? So take care and be safe out there. See you next week.
Put up the gun and make we farm up the ground. Gonna see from what year, too much blood a run. Put down the gun and make we farm up the ground. Them say, global recession so food, Africa in a ground. Put down the gun and make we farm up the ground. Me have to return to St. Anne's and left Kingston. When you plant a new crop, the world start clap. All human beings start embrace that. There is no solution in this pollution. Them only mission is to create era done. Then after election, them cut them one. Get a youths, take this message from this Rasta man. I and I. Put up the gun and make we farm up the ground. Gonna see from what year, too much blood a run. Put down the gun and make we farm up the ground. Them say, global recession so food, Africa in a ground. Put down the gun and make we farm up the ground. Me have to return to St. Anne's and left Kingston. When you plant a new crop, the world start clap. All human beings start embrace that. There is no solution in this pollution. Them only mission is to create era done. Then after election, them cut them one. Get a youths, take this message from this Rasta.
I'm your host on What Matters at the Roundtable, Stanley McPherson. Not a minimum wage, not any other kind of wage, but a living wage. Our broadcast schedules are Sunday at 7:30 a.m., Tuesday, 7:30 p.m., Wednesday, 1:30 p.m., Thursday, 7:30 a.m., Friday, 7:30 p.m., and Saturday, 1:30 p.m. Get on the train.
Y'all have a good night. See you later.